is a disaster, mate, and I'm never like that. I never say that. Rock hard sausages, tin mushrooms, cold chips that they've been re-thrown back in, dodgy bit of burnt bacon. That's just, I never ever do this, and I'll always keep my mouth shut and just be very British. But I'm gonna send that back because that is not good. Hey all, and welcome to another of our vlogs. Thank you so much for joining us. Today, we show you what happened when Stephanie and I went on a little breakfast date. As you know, we do love and enjoy celebrating the fabulous bars and restaurants here in Tenerife, and we give you a little look at some of the best of them. Unfortunately, today's experience was not a good one. Remember, this is just our opinion. We actually thought long and hard about whether or not to put this vlog up, but in the end we decided we would share our experience. Other people's experiences may be different. Take a look. Alright folks, Michael Leavy Jr and Stephanie again. Stephanie on her phone, and guess what? This will be no surprise. We're eating again. We're eating again.
Yeah, but it's only like a nice little breakfast.
We've come for a little bit of breakfast. The kids at school, and it's my day off today. So we're making the most of it and having a little date. And today we've come to Las Americas to try the breakfast in a little place called El Cedro. So let's show you what it's like. I must say, I had been to this restaurant before, but not for about 4 or 5 years. So I was interested to see if it was the same people and indeed the same high standard that it used to be. Let's take a look. So far, we're the only people in here, and it turns out it's because there has been a power cut this morning, a scheduled one. They're doing maintenance works. So they've had to close all morning, so obviously no electricity to cook or make coffees. So we're the first people in, first ones in, aren't we?
Sorry, I'm being rude.
She is, isn't she? So rude.
I'm sorry.
So we've just had a look at the menu. What have you gone for?
Sausage, egg and chips.
Sausage, egg and chips, old school.
Oh, it reminds me of my granddad's. That's why when I saw it, I was like, oh, granddad's.
Proper council estate dinner.
Yeah.
I've gone for the English breakfast, so we'll have a little look what it's like. It's very cheap, very reasonably priced.
Mine's about $3.50.
Yeah, mine's $3.85 for full English breakfast with chips.
That's not bad.
Yeah. We'll see what it's like. Yours, wifey.
Nice, it looks lovely so far. Bastardise it. Olives.
Don't like olives?
Nope, hate olives and you know it.
You're not like Popeye, are you?
It's got that one.
This is a bit rank, to be honest with you. Got a rock hard sausage that looks like it's been microwaved. And tinned mushrooms. Just look at the state of this, and I promise you, it tasted a lot worse than it looked. The bad food was one thing, the service was ridiculous. It's a disaster, mate, and I'm never like that. I never say that. Rock hard sausages, tin mushrooms, cold chips that they've been re-thrown back in, dodgy bit of burnt bacon. That's just, I never ever do this, and I'll always keep my mouth shut and just be very British. But I'm gonna send that back because that is not good. I actually didn't bother sending it back. I just didn't eat a bite, and then I was confronted by the waitress as to just why I hadn't eaten it and what was the matter. When I explained to her how bad it was, she simply shrugged her shoulders and then charged us anyway. I'll be honest, I am the most polite and always watch my manners, courteous person. Very much don't like complaining, flying thing. I very much don't like complaining, and I'm one of them typical Brits where I'll just smile and say everything's all right. As a case in point, if you watch the last vlog we did at the chicken place at Chicken Corner, it didn't bring 3 or 4 items off that we ordered, and still I just was like, no problem, and I paid it anyway and enjoyed the experience. And people said to me in the comments that they wouldn't have paid it for goods and food they didn't get. But you know what, I had a nice time and I was happy with it. Like, as soon as we walked in there, the Canarian woman, just acted like we were a nuisance. Like, as soon as I walked in, smiled and asked for a table, she just, her whole demeanour was like, how would you describe it?
I spoke Spanish to her, so even though I spoke her own tongue, she was still a bit standoff. Maybe that she was just a bit of I would like to think that she was under pressure because all the electric was off, and so it was under pressure.
But they were open again now because the electric's back on. So, but regardless, she just, when you feel,
I know.
You know when you feel uncomfortable, and I just felt straight away like we weren't wanted there, which is not very good with hospitality, is it? And then that food was dreadful. It was dreadful. Rock hard. The sausages were dry, rock hard and cold. My chips were still...
Never known a sausage to be that
No.
hard. Literally, you could... It was, I feel so evil, but...
My chips were still frozen.
Yeah. How on earth can you not know when the chips are not cooked?
The bacon was burnt on the underside, and there was some sort of brown grease on the bottom. And when she came over, she just said to me, "¿Qué pasa?" Just like, what happened? What's the matter? What's up? So I just explained politely that it wasn't good and what was wrong with the food. She shrugged and just gave me the bill and still charged me for it. And again, I'm one of these that I never ever say anything normally. So I said to her, I said, "You're charging me for that. You're charging me for that terrible food when I've not eaten it." And she was like, "Yeah, there's nothing I can do." I was like, "Well, can you speak to someone?" Because I mean, it was only $3.85. And I guess you'd say you get what you pay for, but you know, there's other places that do cheap food that's good. And we didn't go there because it was cheap. I went there because people keep telling me that was a nice breakfast. That was dreadful. And customer service was dreadful. And her attitude was dreadful. And still charged me. So you know what, I would rather have paid 10 times the price and really enjoyed the food than had that. I'm now going somewhere else to go and get something to eat. That was absolutely dreadful. I can't believe her attitude. So avoid that place at all costs. It was absolutely disgusting, mate.
I think everyone's discovered that I don't like doing this.
I'm going to have to walk 10 paces behind you now because you're a midget. Because you're a midget. I have to like, how do I get myself like normal size to you?
It is a normal size.
When you hold the camera. Okay, if I walk next to you.
What if it was just me and I was talking to my mum? I'd be like, "Hey, mummy, how are you?"
So what you were just...
Booby heights.
So what were you just saying?
I said it was a pity that it's kind of ruined a bit of like breakfast date morning, but we can't let it ruin our day.
So I'm looking for somewhere else to go and have something to eat now.
I had egg and chips. Okay, the chips were crap, and the egg was an egg. But I'm all right. I want a coffee now.
Come on, let's find somewhere for a coffee. We are on our way. Just walking along now, approaching the bottom of the Golden Mile. So if you know your Tenerife, you'll know Park Santiago 4. And this is the long Golden Mile strip down to the Safari Centre and towards the Soul Suite and Hole in the Wall and places like that. So let's give you a little look. Oh, nice blue skies today. Different to the last video. It rained yesterday. But as always in Tenerife, never too long until Lorenzo's back out again. Lorenzo's what Canarians call the sun.
Latte, I love it.
Ooh. Just don't stop eating and drinking. Don't stop eating and drinking.
I'm not going to have it because I'm on a diet before we go to England. So I'm actually being quite good.
You're never good.
I've been good.
Does anybody recognise this strip? Do we like this strip? We were saying, Steph and I were saying, that this area makes you feel like you're on holiday.
I said, yeah, I said that.
Which sounds strange because, you know what I mean, we live here and that sounds strange. And believe it or not...
It's in the smell. It's a different smell. It's really weird. Does that sound weird?
Well, that weren't me, babe, but there might have been that dodgy breakfast.
No. I said, when we get to like near Empire and stuff like that, during the daytime it feels like you're on holiday, but in the evening it doesn't to me. And then it's
but that's because
you entertain in the evening.
Yeah, I don't do that job anymore. Thinking about that restaurant, right, and I'm still really pissed off. Not about the food, but just the way that she handled it. How rich must they be? That when I went, "This is dreadful," I said like, and when she was like, "Whatever," I was like, "Well, I'll make sure people know not to come here." And she went, "Go on then." So how rich must they be? Or have people stopped caring? You know, we were talking on the way down, right? Because we had a little walk. We parked up in Los Cristianos Harbour and we've walked down to Las Americas. We were saying earlier on that I think the standard of customer service has dropped here in a lot of places. I don't know what you think. I mean, I know that in your typical tourist areas you get lots of Canarians that are very friendly, your best friend, have a shot.
Oh,
but that's
I've got some amazing friends.
Yeah. Exactly right. I agree. We've got lots of Canarian friends, but business is business, right? And lots of people will give you a free shot, pretend to be your best friend because they're being hospitable and they want your custom again. But a lot of places now will just give you the brush off. We also found that a lot of places are really I know you got to cut your cloth according to your purse, right? But a lot of places are really making, how do I word this? They're buying cheaper ingredients, a lot cheaper. And so the standard of food is not the same in a lot of restaurants that we used to frequent. And now you're getting rubbish food. And I guess they're in a dilemma
not
because
in all places.
No, not in all places. I'm just saying in some of these places that are making these cuts, right? Like one place I won't name that we go to, food was always really good. Now I understand food prices are going up here and everywhere, so their ingredients is dearer and they probably don't want to put the price up. But somewhere we went recently, food was again bad, and we won't go back there now. We didn't make a thing of it, and obviously I won't name it, but we won't go back there because they changed the core ingredients of what they sell. I won't say too much. And it just made for a crap meal. Whereas I would rather they raised the price of what they were selling by €1 or €2 and kept their same high standards. Whereas it seems like they're selling you, they're buying cheap cuts of meat and whatever and not putting the love and care into it. That's one thing. Another reason I'm sure you and we return to places is for hospitality, the customer care.
Yeah. Always. If someone's really, really nice to me,
do you know, you can go and have
really helpful.
You can go and have an average meal, but when a waiter or waitress is very friendly, very nice, we always tip well.
Always. Always.
And that goes a long way. More and more I'm experiencing crappy customer service. It's not just today. And you would think people, Canarian and British bar owners and all nationalities alike, you'd think that they would want to make sure they had your return custom. So yeah, that's unfortunate. Oh, pretty!
This makes me sentimental when the babies was babies.
When the babies was babies?
Yeah.
They used to love that, didn't they? Since our breakfast disaster, I've subsequently gone back and looked at the TripAdvisor reviews. Some great reviews of 4.5 and above, but all from about 2 years ago. More recent ones reference somebody who was a manager there or perhaps the owner that's no longer there. It seems the reviews have plummeted. It is really a shame because the restaurant seems to have fallen off. Again, this is just our experience. Right, wifey and hubby go for breakfast. Take 2. I know you've already eaten, but you're going to have a second breakfast.
No, I'm on diet.
What's the chances? What's the chances? Got a happy Michael now. I've been fed. Good old Goodfellas. Nice cheese and bacon burger. And a coffee to take away. What do you think, Steffi? What do you think about it?
No, it was lovely. I had a nice leche.
So, a pretty mixed bag, but a successful little breakfast date with my wifey. Just won't go back to that place again. Thanks all for watching. We'll see you soon. Please remember to like, share the video, subscribe and comment below and ring the notifications bell so you never miss a video of us eating. Speak to you soon. Let us know when you're coming on holiday. Oh, and don't forget, an evening of soul and Motown and much more with Michael Leavy. UK tour dates now confirmed. You can catch me in London, Essex, Birmingham, Liverpool, Hull, Hawley, lots of other places. The link to buy tickets will be in the description below. We'd love to catch up with some of you, so come along and have a fantastic night. Thanks for watching.